Hello, happy early Wednesday morning, October 15th, 2025. I'm a little bit off-centered here because I have a cat on my lap and she's happy and purring, and until she moves, I'm just gonna leave her here. Um, so this isn't the boost security video I've been promising for weeks. It's also not the Kelly Clarkson Show recap of all the shows she did last week that I've been trying to do every weekend. But it is still kind of boost security in that I think I've been able to connect. I've been never connect. I'm trying to expose and purge some kind of security risk. The gay Nazi pedophiles that are working at NBC Universal or Comcast, and especially around the Kelly Clarkson Show, they're still kind of controlling stuff, and it just doesn't feel right. So I'm going to be throwing spaghetti against the wall. I think I connected a few um, beer stocks, with with the pedophiles, gay Nazi pedophiles at NBC Universal. Perhaps we're trying to expose. We'll see. It's still spaghetti, but for now, just very quickly, before we get to that. Um, It's well, okay. So the Comcast stock is ugly as hell. I was talking earlier this week saying it's just pathetic and it's gonna tank or not. I'm not predicting it anymore because this is one of the ugliest stock graphs I've ever seen. It looks a lot like Disney, and as far as just ugly as hell, though they have different swamp factors affecting them, I believe. For instance, when you look here in like in 2000 in let's say September and then the fall of 2022, something stopped the stock from going bankrupt. So right around that time, I was doing swamp stock tutorials, and I said, "This is a this it broke below its March in March of 2020." There were a lot of stocks that dipped very low to their dipped very low during the fake pandemic Holocaust, and whenever a stock started to dip below that 2020 low, I would say it's just going bankrupt, unless something came to save it that wasn't natural. And that's something natural. So what you do is you look at this and you see, okay, what happened in the the swamp stocks? So that something not natural is going to be Congress and the government coming in and saving it with swamp, some kind of a big bill from that belongs to one of the swamps: pharmaceutical swamp, tobacco swamp, global warming, defense contractor war, religion swamp for the religious war. And so I don't know if you guys, I mean, if you look it up, you could ask Google what happened in the fall. Where did all the money? Oh, it was called the Inflation Reduction Act, and it was passed in August, just before the fall of 2022. And you say, where did all the money go at that time for that? And 369 billion for climate and energy change. So that's a big BS scam, is the climate change. So that went to the defense contractor swamp. Particularly all that money went to the defense contractor swamp, and particularly the Democratic half of the defense contractor swamp, with Ukraine being the Republican half of the. Oh, this is going to be long, you guys. I don't want to be too detailed again. I just want to go through quickly to get this information out to my crowdsourcing rules people, in case it helps them to track down these people working at NBC Universal. So when you look this up, you say, well, are you sure that wasn't a general, a global market reaction? Like, this is how all the market was reacting. So we're going to look at the Dow, and we're going to look in the fall right there, September 2023. Yeah, there was a little bit of a dip there, and it went up, but it's not quite the same as what we're seeing, where it went up and then it went back down. I mean, yeah, so I don't think that was part of it, but this was definitely swamp territory. So last year around this time, I did my little thing, and I said, well, there's still hope for this. We're going to use this. We're going to say there could be a support line right here, as long as, I'm sorry, I'm using one hand. As long as, it was around last year at this time, I said, as long as the stock doesn't dip below around 33, where is this, like 33 and, oh, sorry, I've got one hand, it's not working very well. Okay, guys. As long as the stock doesn't dip below 33 next April or something, April of 2025. It did, and I said, well, now Trump's just going to have to save this because I don't know what else. I mean, there's a lot of stocks like Walgreens Boots Alliance. Remember that one? I was saying that thing is going out of business a long time ago with these same kind of funny graphs, and it did. So I could be right on a lot of this, but that's if nobody comes in to interfere with it. And Trump, he might try to save this the way he's trying to do with Disney, and he's making deals behind. This is ugly as hell. This is all ugly as hell. But you notice in the fall, for Disney, in the fall of 2020, it didn't get a big boost the way Comcast did. Disney stock, I would say, is more pharmaceutical looking. Right here in 2020 went way up like everything else, and then just went, and then right here is where I think Trump came in. This was ugly. It dipped below this low here, which is bad news. In August of 2024, there was a low, and then just recently, in April of 2025, it dipped below there, and I said, this is ugly as hell. And then within a few days or weeks, Trump came in, and this is Trump right here. This is not a swamp saving this. This is Trump. So Trump came in, and he's trying to save Disney, and that's why I just no longer am I doing stock predictions so much. I'm trying to figure out what swamps in the past and what could be going on in the future. But Trump is on this one, and whatever he decides is what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with Disney. I don't think he's going to let it go out of business the way he did Walgreens Boots Alliance. That thing broke apart into 5 different companies. Maybe that's what he has in mind for Disney. I don't know. And maybe that's what he has in mind for Comcast. So, boo, baby girl, I'm not sure the future of Comcast. I know Trump he has a special relationship, love-hate with Comcast, because that's where he had his show. And a lot of people there screwed him over. He's trying to purge gay Nazis out of everywhere. Disney is on the Dow, so he's probably going to try to. I don't know what he's going to do. But the graphs for Comcast and for Disney both have been for over a year now, or at least half a year for Comcast, but Disney for over a year, have looked, well, they both looked beyond ugly since 2022, since they dipped below the 2020 lows. Disney did it just recently. They did it in 2023. But yeah, that to me is you're going out of business unless the government gets involved or things get very swampy. And I just don't know which way things are heading. So, I mean, as far as purgings, really, when you ended the last season of season 6, they were still, the gay Nazi pedophile assholes were still forcing you to do certain Kellyokes, including during your residency when they force you to do 7 Nation Army, that tobacco ad. They still had a lot of different swamp creatures roaming around from all the swamps. You had tobacco, you had defense contractor, especially religion, and I'm still seeing that now. So there's probably the last swamp purging going on. Okay, so that's what's going on with Walt Disney, and the Dow is doing great. And the investments. So yeah, in other words, spaghetti. I'm not stopping, guys. I need to clear all these before I start again tomorrow. All right. So, it looks like, oh, I know what I was going to say. Where did all that money go to? That money, whenever the Congress has a big money like that and says 370 billion, that's a hell of a lot of money. And they're saying it's going toward the swampiest thing on the planet, which is global warming. That's a made up BS. So it went towards most of that money goes toward buying stocks. So here they rescued Comcast a little bit, but what they rescued the most with that money, as I'm finding out, is right around is Netflix. I mean, check this out. I mean, it went up 500% since then. That's all. Here's all your taxpayer money right there. There's, 200 or 300 out of the 360 billion going toward buying Netflix stock. And right around here, I did the media swamp stock tutorials, and I said it dropped below. Netflix is going out of business. And then they went up by 500%. So you could see where I could be wrong. But at the same time, they would be going out of business unless somebody came in and saved them. And it could be Trump doing this here. I mean, it's a way of investing your own money. So now, if it isn't Trump and it's swamp, Netflix is they're in trouble because the swamp is dried up now. There's no more of that money. So Netflix went up the most. Of course, it's going to go toward Tesla. Same thing. You see, this is September 2022. Oh, it was a little bit later. It was a little bit later, November, and then he got a big influx in Tesla stock. Could be from that Inflation Reduction Act and all that stuff. Now, you guys keep in mind, I thought Trump was running the country since 2016. I thought he faked it because he needed more than just 8 years. So he tanked his own election and he ran Biden, he ran all this stuff while he's trying to stabilize the economy for what's coming up. And he's doing great. It's good. It's not doing a small thing. He's trying to usurp the entire 16th Amendment. And before you do that, you have to get the government not relying on and get the government weaned from income taxes and corporate taxes. All that stuff's got to go to zero. Income taxes and corporate taxes are the same. They're both not allowed under the original Constitution because they bring corruption. It's just amazing what he's been doing, but it's very complicated and he's doing a great job. So I'm not going to be predicting the stocks much more, except to tell you that this should be going out of business. Disney should be going out of business unless Trump comes in and helps. The stock market's doing fine, and Netflix should have gone out of business back here, but somebody's putting in your taxpayer money for that. Oh, also, remember, I just connected the two. This is the global warming, is kind of connected to the defense contractor, to the GOP half of the defense contractor. They're both the defense contractor swamp. One is the Democratic half and the other one's the Republican half, but they're still kind of connected. But right around here was when Netflix, in this 2022, is when season 4 of Stranger Things from Netflix came out, and it's when I already pegged them as going toward the defense contractor swamp, when all of a sudden the theme of Stranger Things was, Russia, Ukraine, Russia. So the theme for a lot of these companies, media companies, is anti-Trump, and it's everything, because he's going to bring down the 16th Amendment, and he's the biggest enemy of all. So that's when Stranger Things came out, anti-Russia, and Russia's bad, and Ukraine, and all around this time. So they're definitely, they used to be tobacco and pharmaceutical a little bit right here, and then they switched over to defense contractor. And that's what's going on, and I'm not sure how much of this is Trump buying that up and how much of it is going to sell off. But technically, without outside help, Netflix should be going out of business. So that's that. And I'm going to get rid of this stuff. Okay. All right. So last week I exposed Grok for being a fraud because he keeps pretending like he could read PDF files, and he cannot. He cannot accurately read PDF files, and he will give you definitive quotes. Like you'll say, "Hey, here's a PDF file. Can you tell me?" Or I'll ask him, "Can you tell me online where I could find the charging papers for Tyler Robinson, the person who's accused of shooting Charlie Kirk?" We're back to Charlie Kirk. I'm sure my Wordle muses are very happy about that, because the Wordle for today was, it had something to do with the shooting. Oh, wound. Was that today? Oh, did I do today's? Well, wound was yesterday's or the day before. Wound. So they want me to talk about Charlie Kirk and his wound some more. Yeah, the wound is an exit wound, I believe, or a fake. But so I exposed Grok last week pretty harshly on that, and as a result, because Grok comes from X people, they're kind of punishing me by making sure I can't see my For You feed anymore. And the For You feed is where I get a lot of information on the swamps. So I really didn't like that. And I also can't read anything on Twitter anymore. Like if somebody has a... So what I thought was... So I reported it in a video. See that your account is suspended and is not permitted to perform what? All I want to see is my For You feed. And I want to read other tweets. Even though my account is suspended, I'm still paying $3 a month to keep the subscription up, and while I appeal this. But I think it was retaliation for my exposing Grok for being the fraud. He's pretty good in a lot of ways, but so then I paid the subscription again, even though I just paid it on the 25th of September. I gave another $3, and my For You feed came back up for about 24 hours. I had all the For You feed there. And then I came back today, and the same For You feed is now gone again. So I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a lot of... and then when the For You feed did come up, it was almost 100% NFL news and cryptocurrency. Can you believe it? That's all it was. Not ads. It was all cryptocurrency, crypto this, crypto that. And it went on for 24 hours, and that was it. Like, it's like the For You feed has changed. And I'm not sure. I know the NFL is imploding for sure. Tobacco swamp imploding. They're out of money. They're desperate. They rig games. They've been rigging it. They've been making most of their money off of rigging games. And everybody's fine exposing that, and the Chiefs and that whole thing. But so I thought, well, by association, that means crypto is also tanking, or is a fraud. And I don't understand crypto. I'm not even going to get into it. But then Trump was coming out, and he's saying he's all in on crypto. So I would say, yeah, maybe crypto is taking over the For You feed because crypto is the future and not this tobacco swamp stuff. But I don't know, guys. I'm out of crypto, so I'm out of the loop. I'm getting myself out of that whole loop of predicting stock stuff, and including crypto and any of the financial stuff. It could be good news that this is what's happening, though. It could be that the For You feed is now no longer something I could rely on for swamp activity, because it's just completely imploded now and has been taken over by Trump. So we'll see. We'll see when my account has been reinstated the way it was last May at YouTube. So we'll keep an eye on that. I keep submitting an appeal, and hopefully it'll be back up. Hopefully they'll put them back up from way back from 215, 214. My first account suspensions, 214 twice, and then 2022 twice, and then 2024, and then 2025. I don't know, 6 account suspensions over there at Twitter. So I just wanted to go back to Grok and show you another example. It's the same thing, because I got back to Charlie Kirk a little bit yesterday or today, and I was reading the charging papers, and there was one sentence in there that said the crowd was only a few hundred people. And I said, the charging papers against Tyler Robinson for the murder of Charlie Kirk states several hundred people attended the event. It was several hundred was the quote. And everywhere else it has stated that over 3,000 people were there. So which is it? It seems to me like that is a big difference between everybody saying over 3,000, and then the reporting in the charging papers. This is like official document for charging. They're stating that it was several hundred, and it seemed like there could have been like at least 1,000, maybe 2,000, not 3,000, but more than several hundred. So maybe, anyway, I just wanted to ask Grok why the discrepancy. And he's searching for the charging papers, and he says the official charging documents and court filings, blah, blah, blah. The documents do not specify any attendance figures, let alone several hundred people. So he's saying that Grok is lying here because he can't read PDF files. He's saying, he's pretending like he went to look at the charging document, and the documents do not specify any attendance figures. Completely 1,000%. 1,000%. I'm following Trump on that one. It's driving everybody crazy when you say 1,000%. And so that's why I'm doing it, because it's driving everybody crazy. I love that guy, Trump. But 100% a lie. Like, he's stating it as fact. And then later, the several hundred claim does not appear in any primary source from the charging papers, court records, or law enforcement releases reviewed across major outlets, or law releases. It may stem from misreading the child-related charge, blah, blah, blah. In summary, the event had over 3,000 attendees per all reliable accounts. If you have a specific link. So I didn't say where this was from. This exact quote is from the charging paper itself. You could look it up online. It's at CNN. It's all over the place, and there aren't false ones out there. I haven't seen any reported that were fake PDF files of the charging papers. There's just one from September 16th. It's 10 or 11 pages long, period. And that's all it is, and it's available in PDF file. It's available everywhere. And here's the quote. The event at UVU was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk was interacting with the crowd before the event officially got underway. Then approximately at noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind the table and microphone. This is from the charging paper, and I lifted it directly, and I just quoted it here. The excerpt you provided appears to come from a defense filing or motion submitted by Tyler Robinson's legal team in this, likely intended to argue, but it's not, he's still saying this is not the charging papers. This is not from the prosecution's charging papers. It's exactly from the charging papers and the initial complaint. And he's sitting here telling me why, and then here's the most interesting thing. Silent on crowd size, he's telling me what's in the charging documents. Charging document, there's just one. Silent on crowd size, as confirmed in the publicly filed probable cause statement and 7-count indictment available here, and that's exactly the one I see. They emphasized the rifle's trajectory from 200 yards, and it was 160 yards. Well, and a single .308 round fired, and Robinson's post-shooting confession, which is not in there anywhere that he confessed. Oh, maybe they did, without qualifying attendees. They said he confessed. Okay, I don't know how much of that is true. I have to go see if they talk about him confessing. Maybe they did. The several hundred phrase is selective. Anyway, he's saying, anyway. So I said, okay, Grok. Here is the full text of the charging papers. Again, I have to do this every time. You can't read PDF files. Why do you keep pretending you can? So I give him this whole thing. And then this is what Grok says. Okay, that's the 11 pages. All the way to the end. And then this is what Grok says. You're correct. I cannot directly access or read PDF files or any external documents beyond my training data and real-time search capabilities. My previous responses relied on summaries from verified news reports, court docket overviews, and official statements aggregated from sources like the Associated Press. Are you serious? He just quoted exactly that the charging document does not list that. So why does he say that? The several hundred people attended phrase does appear in the prosecution's probable cause statement, part of the information, which he just said did not appear there. And he quotes what I put up there, announced in advance. Consequently, 700 people. This is not from the defense filings, as I initially surmised based on incomplete secondary sources. But then he goes, why the discrepancy? He says, because what they're talking about in the charging papers is they're talking about the immediate vicinity around the stage and not the fuller stage. What a fucking, God, you're so... Can you estimate the number from this picture? So I gave him a picture, and I sliced it down to this little part right here, and he says he estimates between 1,200 and 1,800 in that little crowd. It's about right. It's about 1,500, but I don't think there's 3,000 total. Even if it doesn't extend too much further beyond this. I don't think there's twice as many. It could be 3,000. I just wanted to know why they're saying several hundred and not 3,000, and that's all. And then he's going on and on that it's over 3,000 regardless, because he's just an idiot. Anyway, that's it. I'm done with you, Grok, for now. You just can't read PDFs. Stop pretending like you can. And he is absolutely 1,000% being manipulated still. So I'm just saying that because, and it's obviously true because something torpedoed the For You feed at X. I'm no longer seeing it, and when I do see it, it's not the same at all. It's like all NFL and which is going out of business, and cryptocurrency. It's not hardly anything that I'm interested in. I'm not even interested in any of that stuff. So this guy went to UVU. I said that he's working for Trump, or he talks about his best friend that's been with him for 20 years who's sitting behind the scenes. That best friend is probably gay and is probably running a lot of his social media accounts. He put him in charge of the social media accounts because he's not seeing any of my videos or my suggestions. My suggestion was it's either fake, and they electroshocked Charlie Kirk to like with the taser-like thing. Whatever. He's not seeing my stuff. He's gonna go over there. It's all useless. I've already posted all this stuff. A lot of it's in videos, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, we'll see. He needs to address what I'm asking. Otherwise, it's just I'm not interested in any of his stuff because mine is probably closer to what's going on. So while I am no longer on the For You feed, I decided to go back to my rom-com list. I've been working on the top 111 rom-coms of all time, and one of the things that I'm looking for is I exclude rom-coms that have obvious gay influences. And the gay influences are cigar smoking, or references to tobacco products, like there'll be billboards and signs with cigarettes for kids and stuff. No violence against the male groin area, that's common. No face slaps, that's very tizzy-fitted, is very gay. No embarrassing public scenes degrading others, that's gay. No references to anal sex. No gay male type of misogyny from a non-gay male character, like a non-gay man calling a woman a bitch or a whore. Those words are very common, and when a non-gay man says it, when a man says it, he's either gay or it's a non-gay man who has a lot of gay influences, which is more dangerous sometimes than the gay man. So bitch and whore coming from the mouth of a man. No sexual innuendo jokes involving kids in the absence of their parents. That's the pedophile angle. I had I would say 4 rom-coms with Adam Sandler, and all 4 of them were completely ejected once I went back over all the pedophile references. I'm calling them gay Nazi pedophile references now. And it's just amazing. You can't not see it once you see it. And all of his big movies, I have to go look at all his movies, but even Happy Gilmore 2 recently, I did a whole video on this, with all of the rom-coms, but I just got another one I just did. I'll get on it in a minute. No cliche high school parties with a lot of underage drinking. This happens in almost all the old rom-coms. I just did Clueless. I hadn't seen it before. I loved it. It was based off of Emma. It's the only Emma where she doesn't. There's a very critical part in the old Jane Austen book and in the old movies, not the movies, but the movies that are based strictly on the book, which I don't like so much because a lot of they're too beholden, they're too tied to the actual book. And if you try to make the movie that way, they describe characters who aren't there, and it gets very confusing, and it gets very, if you read the book, you're just kind of watching them read the book. And I don't like it so much. Clueless I loved because they took out the one part where Emma really embarrassed this one lady who was kind of foolish and elderly and kind of gossipy, and she said something really mean, like, you're just very boring all the time, in front of a whole bunch of other people. And that's this one. And no, embarrassing public scenes, degrading others. And that's exactly what Emma did. And I think that's gay male influences. Like, Jane Austen is very good at romance, but that's one that I think was a bit of a mistake. And you say, well, people are human. And it's like, I don't want to see that in a rom-com. I don't want to see that of a main character that you're supposed to. It's kind of a character flaw that I don't want to see, because it makes me uncomfortable when they do that, you know. And then you say, well, you do it. You constantly degrade people in front of everybody else online. No, I am me, and I'm not hiding behind an anonymous thing. And I'm throwing spaghetti against the wall, and I'm calling them gay. I'm trying to thwart violence, and these people are very violent. You have to, you know, I'm not, I will say somebody's gay, Adam Schiff especially, if you're in a position of power, but what she did was she did it with somebody who wasn't in a position of power. That was the whole point. And then she was Mr. Fairfax, what is his name? Knightley. Mr. Knightley, you know, the romantic lead in that, really chided her. And by the way, he's like 16 years older than she is. Jane Austen, it really has a lot of she has a lot of age differences. It's a gay thing. Jane Austen, by the way, was lesbian, so, and it's a very gay, even the mismatch between ages is a gay thing. But he chided her, and I did that a little bit with my boo, and that's probably why I was looking at rom-coms like that. Maybe my subconscious. And afterwards, he felt really bad. Like, she felt bad. He made her cry. And then he said, well, I'd rather tell you the truth. And he was hiding behind that. And it was like, I don't know. I don't want to hide behind it's calling the truth. Anyway, I'm not sorry. If I were sorry, I wouldn't have done it. And I would, if I say I'm sorry, it means I wouldn't have done it. Baby girl, I'm just going to keep prodding forward, and it's just the way it is. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm trying to find justification in that, and it's just, I'm just going to tell the truth on that. I think the justification was, maybe I hate them more than I love you. I said that before. I really do. I think it's better in the long run for you, but maybe not. Definitely not for our relationship. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, so I wasn't going to talk about this. The most important thing is going to get to boost security. So that was Emma, and she had high school drinking in that one. And she was booted. I don't have any Emmas anywhere, any of the versions, including Gwyneth Paltrow version, any of the versions, because The only because, as I told you, it's confusing to follow it if you don't know the book, and as I'm not going to recommend that. Um, and I already have up here. I already have Persuasion. That was good, and it didn't have an embed. It was fun to follow that version of Persuasion in particular. It was made into a rom-com. But anyway, so there's no Emmas, is what I'm telling you, is because the modern version was Clueless, and I did have it on the top 66 list. And she was only smoking pot, but then there was also a reference to smoking. Um, there was the song "All Right" by, was it Smashing Pumpkins? No, and that one talks about. Oh, we'll go over this later. There was a smoking reference and there was the drinking reference, and I just booted it from my 111 list completely for those reasons. And so there's no Emma any version because I got tired. I get tired of the big party where they're drinking and going wild in high school. I even hate that for college, but yeah, they do it, but it's not going to be in my top 111 rom-coms, and I'm just tired of it. Just stop being cliche. So no cliche high school parties with a lot of underage drinking and wild stuff going on, and the parents are away, and they call the. And also the big thing is for this list is I don't mind rewatching the movie should it pop up while channel surfing, and I'm not talking about within weeks of each other, but if a year later, 2 years later, even 3 years later, it shows up and it's free or whatever, and it's there, and I'll go, oh yeah, I'll watch that again. That's kind of important in my mind to be on my 111 list. Now I'm not going to be able. I don't have 111 that are that way. I think I have 55 though. I think I've got my. So I separated out. I numbered from 1 to 11, and then I have 12 to 55, but not numbered, just in alphabetical order. And then I have 56 through 111, and I'm working on it. I have over 200 on this list, and I'm gonna start cutting stuff. But these are the criteria that I'm cutting out is this gay influences, and that's the list of them. And I'm trying to make a top 55 list, 12 to 55, that have none of these in it. And there are quite a few that don't, but quite a lot of them have the cigarette. It's really hard to find one that doesn't have cigarette references. Like seriously, even nowadays. Anyway, one of the lists I have is things that are on other people's lists. They're rom-coms on other lists, movies I haven't seen that are on other lists. And I thought, okay, I need to go through these before I do anything else. I'm almost done. Well, I'm not. I started, and I did. What was it? Barefoot in the Park from 1967. Oh my God, that was horrible, stupid, dumb. Total gay. A lot of gay references in it too, but whatever. So that's off the list. And then I went to Billy Madison. Now I said, okay, why are you doing all this when you have so much to do? You've got the lawsuit you've got to do, and you promised the all day Cyrano. Oh my God, I still have to do that. And the boost security, and now you're going to be watching rom-coms. I watched like about, I don't know, 12 or 13 of them. And you just canceled your subscriptions for stuff. So why did you do that? Anyway, Tubi, and yay for Tubi, and the other one. What is that called? There's a couple of them that have a lot of free rom-coms, so good for them. And I found some. Anyway, Billy Madison came up, and I said, okay, because I'm doing alphabetical order. And guess what? It's just horrible. It's all pedophiles again. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to relate it. It's from Universal, and I'm going to relate it to the beer, to Budweiser, and the Budweiser stocks. And hopefully we're going to track down this person at this gay person. Gay people are. So here's the thing with the pedophile Adam Sandler. Billy Madison is one of his movies that has this. The movie is a vehicle for pedophiles to have an excuse once again to get kids, especially young redheaded boys, to talk about and be exposed to adult sexual subjects. Just say no to the gay Nazi asshole pedophiles. So you could tell that the casting directors at NBCUniversal are just having erections all over the place casting kids and screening them. Oh, we're going to go across the country and screen all these kids, and we're going to have them give us a sample of this talk between Adam Sandler and them talking about sexual stuff. And then they do it in the movie to attract pedophiles. And it's really sick, guys, when you can't unsee it, and he has the same themes. And he also, so just stop circumcising kids. You know, that will help the Jewish thing. But you have gays who have problems psychologically, sexually, because they could never get what they want. They want a non-gay man to stick his penis up their anus. And they're never going to get that, and be in love with them in that way. Never going to get it. Never going to get it. And so they have major problems that we're not helping by saying that you're a girl in a boy's body. That's not helping. It's making it worse. Okay, no, you're gay, and that's what you are, and that's how it's like telling a white kid or a black kid, oh, I'm sorry, you're a white person in a black person's body, so we're gonna do all sorts of surgeries on you to turn you white. It's the same thing, you guys. Let's stop that shit. Man, my cat won't leave. My hand is getting numb. Sorry, we're just gonna keep going. So we're gonna go through Billy Madison. I'm just saying, when I throw spaghetti against the wall, my subconscious led me to this, and it's boo security. Okay, so let's go. Here's Billy Madison. It's Universal, NBC Universal, from 1995. It is the movie that made him. This is his breakout movie. This movie, if you can believe it. It's so bad, people. A lot of non-gay men might find some of this stuff funny, but it's sick when you look at the point is you're trying to... There goes the cat. All right, let's do this. What are we going to go for 2 hours probably? So it's NBC Universal, Billy Madison, Universal Pictures. That's where Kelly is. We're trying to find this guy. He's probably some of the same people still there, trying to figure out who greenlighted this movie, who okayed this script, who was in charge of the casting. It's gay men, and they are either gay pedophiles or they know what pedophiles like, so they're catering to them in this movie. All right, and they're still there at NBC Universal, and they're just last week I was talking about we need to get rid of the pedophile who was who put this young redheaded girl on the show, and also the pedophiles who were last week I was talking about that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do it when I do the review of the Kelly Clarkson Show episodes from a week ago Monday to last Friday. We're going to talk about the pedophile references more. When Nick Offerman was on, I think that was a week ago Friday. So anyway, okay, let's do this. So Billy Madison, he acts kind of mentally like, well, what would we call retarded? I guess we have other words, but what is that called? Mentally handicapped. But he's not. He just has this little kid voice, and then they say, well, that was a metaphor for he's maturing during the movie, and he uses the kid voice less. And it's like, no, I think he uses it less because it's just really creepy. Probably in the screenings, they said, you need to stop that because it's creepy. And then he gets, he does this, it's very violent like an adult, and it's not, it's just weird. It's creepy and weird, and it's because he's Jewish and circumcised people. And we need to just, because he doesn't look like he's not gay. I don't think he does this in real life. I don't think he's a sexual deviant in real life. But he's influenced by gay people who are encouraging him, giving him money to do this. All right? And we need to cut off that money. Okay? That's what Trump is working on, but I'm helping him. So I'm helping you, Trump. It's the beer stocks. That's where they're getting the money from. The pedophiles over at Universal Pictures, I think. So he goes and he's very juvenile, and acts. So you open it up, and he's supposed to inherit his father's Madison business, and he can't because he's acting too juvenile. Like he goes and looks at so he's going to look at he's opening this movie up by looking at nudie, whatever, jerk off books, I guess they're called, but they all say for adults over 18, so they're already focusing on she-male, whatever this was, IP sitting down, or do I? Oh, there's transition stuff here. Oh, so I'm going to go through the whole movie really fast. Not fast, I don't care. And we're going to point out gay references and pedophile sexual innuendos, but it's mostly gay references and trans references. I'm going to point out all the redheaded kids, all the redheads throughout the movie, because gays are infatuated with them. And so here's trans. Oh, he also has kind of a lot of weird jokes with having sex with older people, especially in Happy Gilmore 2. He keeps kissing his grandma, like in a sexual way. That's his grandma, and he keeps having a lot of sexual innuendos. That's the circumcision stuff, people. That's like the Jewish. They just have real weird problems. And so do gay men. So the Jewish gay guys are the worst, I think. There's an association there, guys, between the pedophilia and the gay guys. And the Jewish gay guys especially have it bad, I think. And then the drunk chicks, models over 18. So he's looking at these books and he's like, oh. And then the weird relationship between black women, the dynamics between the white man and the black woman here. He's got a fine piece of ass. It's sexualized. And then these two guys talk about Triscuit crackers. Triscuits, I was looking at also in this movie, redheaded guy. I don't think he's redheaded in real life, but they have a lot of redheads in this movie. But I was looking at the product placement products. Triscuit is the only one in here that doesn't belong to PepsiCo or to Budweiser. It's Mondelez, and I don't see any significant swamp activity here. It's going down a little bit here, but so that's where Triscuits come from. I'm just getting rid of that one because I thought Triscuit crackers, that's going to be a snack. That's going to be Pepsi or Kellanova, Kellogg, this kind of stuff, but it wasn't. But this conversation, the way that they didn't do this in the rest, but the way they're talking to each other are like gay lovers here at this part of the movie. So it's gay reference here, and this guy can stay in my room. So gay reference with this guy here. At the dinner table between Billy Madison and this guy. And then this guy's sticking his tongue out doing at Billy Madison. And then so we have Coca-Cola at one point in this movie. Coke and Budweiser. Hey Billy, how come you ain't pounding tonight? And then these are his immature friends. Norm Macdonald, who's hilarious usually, and this guy. They were throwing pickles up against. They're just doing juvenile stuff. They're older guys doing juvenile stuff. Whatever. Who would you rather bone? Gay reference. Meg Ryan or Jack Nicholson. Gay reference. Jack Nicholson now in 1974. And then they crap in a bag and set it on fire type of thing. So here's an old guy, gay reference again, in his underwear. Judas Priest, I don't know, stomps that out. He called the shit poop, and they're just doing this juvenile stuff, and it's just whatever. It's not funny, I don't think. I mean, it's just stupid. Feel those kicks. He's going to be a soccer player. This guy, Eric is pregnant. He says, I have news for you. And he says, oh, Eric is pregnant. It's another gay theme. Jack-off magazines is what they're called. So he says, I'm giving the company to Eric, this other guy, because you're just immature to him. And the way he's talking is weird. He talks like he's trying to act like he's mentally retarded. That's what he's trying to act like, but it's just not coming off right. It's just weird. It's just weird. So he says, well, you're too dumb or you're too mentally retarded. And he says the father admits that he paid all the teachers off the first time he went through high school, and that's why he passed. And he says, well, if I go through 1st through 12th grade all over again without your help, can I have the company? And this is just a vehicle to get this guy with his jerk off magazines in an elementary school setting. It's just pedophilia. I mean, it's the premise. Oh, how funny is that? So it's like whoever at Universal greenlighted this is the pedophile we're looking for at NBCUniversal, who's probably still there. Okay? And he's getting his money from Budweiser stock manipulations. We're going to show that in a minute. We're going to go through this. I do each grade in 2 weeks each, and if I make it, I get the company. Oh, okay. Take the test and regraduate, and we'll give you the company. Prove that you're not an idiot, and you can take over Madison hotels. Trying to be like Trump here, I guess. That's the other thing. They're trying to be like Trump with the hotel business. So he goes there, and first you're going to get a lot of redheaded kids. This kid's redheaded. Well, he's redheaded. And you got to associate kids with the anus. So he's doing beans. He's making flatulent noises. Okay, so here's pedophilia and anal sex and in the anus. And he says, Scotty likes beans, don't you, Scotty? Yes. I want you all to meet our new friend, Billy. So here's an adult man, and he's giving an erection to all these pedophiles and gay men out there who like redheads and like little kids and little boys, redheaded boys in particular. And so all the kids come and hug him. Welcome. We're going to give him a welcome. All these little redheaded, there's like 3 or 4 of them, surrounding him and hugging him. Pedophile heaven. Okay? And so she's reading him a story now. And he gave Happy, his dog, a kiss on his wet little puppy nose. And you know, they love. Remember in the last movie, he put peanut butter all over their faces and had the puppies licking the peanut butter off of. It's like a gay thing to have but yeah, gay men especially do that. They train their dogs to lick peanut butter off their penises and stuff. And he had that in his last movie or one of the other movies, but whatever. And then he played a game with all these the little girls and had them put peanut butter on their face. Remember that pedophile stuff? I'm gonna repost all that to YouTube because that was all taken down. We'll do that soon. I just didn't want to, but I'll do it after this. I will go through Happy Gilmore 2 and all the pedophile references, this one, and then I'll post it at the end of the other one where I had all the pedophile references in those other ones, the anal sex and the pedophiles and the kids with anal sex. You get your ass, he talks about asses and buttholes a lot in front of kids. You get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog. So he's swearing, here's an adult and all these kids that are supposed to be taking a nap and sleeping with him, and he's swearing like an adult. So the name of the game is try to have a movie with an excuse to swear around little actors and have them talking about sexual, just have them more mature. So it's the casting directors, the gay casting directors we're looking for here too. Okay, those are the pedophiles, and we need to get them away from the Kelly Clarkson Show. Like seriously, people. Because they're all over that shit. I think it's time to play dodgeball. Oh, so he also has, here's some more, there's another redheaded kid. There's 2, that was the one, they all have speaking parts, a redheaded girl, but he has a family of bullies, and they're called Old Doyle, and they bully him at every level that he's in elementary school. And this is this level. This is 1st grade, I think. and he bullies him. And then here he's sitting here, and they do a thing where they're eating bananas in front of the redheaded kids, giving more erections to pedophiles and gay men and gay pedophiles. And the guy at NBC who's doing all this shit, he's still there, and he's still doing redheaded pedophile shit on the Kelly Clarkson Show. And then another redheaded kid is sitting across from him. He talks to, they all have speaking parts until you have redheaded girl down here. They're all sitting by him, and he's talking, doing a lot of sex stuff, banana stuff, and whatever. He's just, the movie is meant to turn on pedophiles, and they're getting their funding from Budweiser, which is a pedophile stock. We'll see how it goes. In a minute, I'm going to show you. You know something? You suck. Yeah, so that's getting pedophiles. Suck my dick, you know. Anyway, so also, when, God. Offerman? Why can't I remember his name? I just said it. Nick Offerman? Whatever he is, was talking about, he had little woodchucks, and that's a nursery rhyme, and here's another one. Roosters crow, cock-a-doodle-doo. It was like a song. And if you can get little kids to say cock, it's like a funny gay thing, then you're doing fine. Hey, everybody, haha, look, we got the little redheaded boy saying cock, you know. So that's pedophile. The little redheaded kid has a redheaded mom, and he's talking sex. He's not my brother, he's my son, and he's flirting with her, and the little kid says he's retarded or something. Maybe someday he'll make mommy and daddy a lot of money. Like, he's talking about, this comes from Adam Sandler. That's his line. Maybe as a little prostitute or something he's referring to. And he says, well, daddy's in prison and he won't be home for a long time. He's flirting with her, but he's also talking about the kid. He's talking about sex in front of the kid. And Scotty Logan says, I'm here. He's next to the redheaded kid. And then Billy Madison refers to his anus, of course, making fart sounds. And everybody goes, oh, it's so funny, it's so funny. You know, that's fine. Fine. I'm just an idiot. I'm being overly whatever. Go ahead, you know, expose your kids to stuff just to make all the gay guys happy or whatever it is. Just say no to the gay guys. Okay? Adam Sandler just can't say no to the gay guys. He's getting tons of money to do his fucking pedophile shit. Pedophile shit, peeing at the little, you know, focus on the penis, focus on the kids. Fucking pedophile right here. This is a pedophile picture. Period. I don't know how else you would describe it. Pedophile picture. So here is another thing is get people who aren't his parents giving him a big Rolex. Hey, thanks for the watch, Billy. His name is Billy. You're welcome, buddy. And they're at a party with a lot of little kids. And these guys giving him Rolex watches. Fucking pedophile. Little redheaded kid. You know, this scene right here is giving a lot of erections and getting a lot of people jerking off to this. Okay, pretending like the little redheaded boy is. And little redhead guy with the redheaded kids in a race. Grown adults goofing around with kids. Pedophile. The sprinkler is being shot right up this little kid's butthole in this one. Pedophile shit. Gay pedophile shit. Adults running around with kids on the water slide who aren't their parents. That's the key here. And, you know, it's not just in the movie, but it's the casting directors doing this shit and the people filming it. All fucking pedophiles. Most of the kids in this movie, especially the redheaded ones, have been they've been hit upon or raped or sexualized. The actors, you better fucking believe it. 1995? Hell yeah. And we're trying to catch that person. He's still at NBC. He's still doing this shit. He's still making Nick Offerman say buttress and Kelly say buttress and talk about pilot holes and shit on her program. Okay, and having this little redheaded girl with her mom who smokes her grandma change the color of her hair because she prefers black hair when it's the absolute opposite of what, it's kind of like, I don't know what that was. It's just pedophile shit. Period. Okay? Pedophile shit. And they're trying to get close to her redheaded daughter. And it's just like, God damn. Ah, you fucking shit. Just. They want that little girl to be good friends with River. They're just trying to gain access. Pedophiles are trying to gain access, and they are, in a way. They are. I mean, you already had this fucking whatever. So, hey, you small. So they have this little redheaded girl walk up to him and touch him and say, "You spoiled snot, get out of here." Like, it was just a weird pedophile. These guys act like they're gay, except only at the very beginning. They didn't do it. And anyway, pedophile scene, and then of course. Billy Madison lets the sprinkler go up his asshole too. Pedophile. Gay shit. Okay. Little redheaded kid sitting next to him. Everybody who had speaking parts. This little redheaded kid and most of the kids who had speaking parts were redheaded. So he's in love with Miss Vaughn. Oh, what did she say here? Oh, it's a short story entire. My sister Fanny. And as soon as she said Fanny, it's a butthole joke, pedophile. The kids start laughing. And then she says, turn to page 69. And, and here's Billy Madison. So all the casting directors were hoping that the kids would say, what does that mean? And then they would explain it to them. And they're talking about sex with the little kids all of a sudden. So this is it's sick, guys. It's fucking sick. Just say no to the butt-fucking asshole pedophiles. Butt-fucking pieces of gay Nazi asshole pedophile swamp shit. Just say no, people. Non-gay dumbass morons. A lot of money in this, though. A lot of money in this pedophilia shit. Okay, unfortunately, so he's teasing this kid because he can't read, and then she takes him outside. So hot, I want to touch the hiney. He's talking to the teacher. Oh, here he's talking to the teacher, and then she thinks it's cute. She dates him or whatever. She kisses him. Anyway, she's talking, maybe she's got something up her ass. Of course, they always talk about things being up people's asses. That's what I said. You want me to take my shirt off for you? Remember, the offer's on the table. So he's, do me, Billy. She's drawing, in front of the kids, he's drawing nasty stuff. Would you like to try the word buzz? And then they all laugh, and I don't get what that is. Buzz. All the kids laughed because she said buzz. That means something? Is that like something that turns the pedophiles on? Probably. I don't know. You're gonna stay home. You can help me shave my armpits, she says to him. He says, no, I'm going to work. So the little redheaded kid gets put in a trash can by a big redheaded kid. So that's the older O'Doyle. There's like 4 of them who pick on him. They get older and older, and they all have red hair. Where's Billy? He's in school. So here we have Budweisers everywhere, and I think there was Doritos and Fritos. So here we go for Valentine's Day. Billy gets Valentine's. Be my Valentine, Billy. Love, Jennifer. And like Jennifer's this 9-year-old girl, googly-eyed, at a man. I mean, yeah, that's not pedophilia, guys. Oh, be mine. I'm Susan. Hi. All the pedophiles are having erections and jizzing all over this picture right here. Yeah, and he's still at NBC. He's working. He's controlling the Kelly Clarkson Show. This guy. This fucking asshole pedophile. I want you, Billy, from the principal. So now the principal's gay. And he's horny. I want you, P.S. I'm horny. And it's so cute. So we got gay shit, pedophile shit, gay pedophile shit. And now Billy, a grown man, is talking to a young boy about his girlfriend and call her up for me. Hey, this is a 9-year-old and he's treating him like a grown man, like his buddy. Ask her if she has a boyfriend. Oh, there's Wonder Bread. Who owns Wonder? Flowers Foods. Hostess Brands. In Canada, Wonder Brands. Who owns Flowers? Well, Flowers Foods is obviously a fucking swamp that's going out of business. Pedophiles are going out of business is what that is. Damn, it looked pretty sturdy until then. When did it tank? It started tanking in April. Damn, look at that, you guys. It looked great. And then look what it's done since 55% since 2023. 2.5 years ago, February. General Mills. I wonder what swamp. It's the pedophile swamp. Whatever is in this movie is pedophiles. That's good news. Looks like the pedophiles are running out of money there. I just don't know what other swamp it's related to, except the pedophile swamp. Okay, so Wonder, we're going to go through them, but these are pedophile stocks, people. My dear crowdsourcing rules people, every product placement in this movie is a pedophile stock. Maybe not the Triscuits. Maybe they couldn't get the Triscuits involved. Okay, so there's the Wonder. Ask her if she likes class more than a friend. Miss Fawn, would you ever go out with anybody from class? You see, Ernie, grown-ups like to go out with other grown-ups. You're just talking grown-up. You more of a grown-up than Billy? What about Billy? And then he gets all like mad. He has these weird fits. Like, they're violent fits, and it's like, oh, he's trying to. It's creepy as fuck. And they're telling him, oh, it's funny because they want the pedophile shit. It's not funny. He does some stuff that's funny, and I love him. And he just seems like he would be such a good dad in a lot of the stuff he does, and but I don't know. I dare you to throw so now now the bus driver is a redhead, and kids are acting bratty. I'm trying to score points with the teacher. Don't screw it up. So now he's getting them to, I dare you to touch your boobs. They're talking boobs to 9-year-olds. These aren't 12 or 13-year-olds. They're 9-year-olds. Okay, I guess 9-year-old boys act that way. I'm trying, and then he turns mad again. And then he goes, that's assault, brother. Okay, whatever. And then he goes up, touches her boobs. Everybody laughs. She thinks it's cute. Mistake tit. Then this guy starts to eat a banana again in front of the kids. Pedophile. Um, they fall in love here, supposedly. I want to annoy you. It's just like, it's creepy as hell. They steal the kids' lunches. These fucking pedophiles steal all the kids' lunches. Pedophile, pedophile. So, his little friend, hey, Ernie, what's up? He's asking him while he's hiding against the wall. He says, are you falling in love with the wall? It looks like he's masturbating against the wall, maybe. He says, oh no, I had an accident. What do you mean? Oh, look at my penis, everybody. So all the pedophiles are having a fit because it's a little boy penis here. Focuses on his penis. Pedophile, pedophile. And then so Billy Madison goes and rubs water on his own penis. Pedophile, pedophile. Hey, look, everybody, I peed my pants, like Ernie. Hey, it's cool when you pee your pants. So you can pee your pants and it's okay. Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest. Oh, hey, man, I want to pee my pants too. So they all pee their pants. And it's cool. Let's all focus on the penis. So this redheaded guy is checking their penises. All the boys, these guys, before they get on the bus. You can get on the bus if you peed your pants. So let me look at your penis. Pedophile. And then he looks up her skirt because it's supposed to prove he's not gay when you look up a skirt like that. This is how gay men think real men behave. And it's just like, okay, whatever. I guess men really wish to do that, and it's okay and it's funny. So we have, every time he graduates a grade, they have a party, but every time there's a party, it's not the grade, it's always little kids in the pool in their little bathing suits. Pedophile, 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 pedophile. So now the same kid who was sitting and getting the water squirted up his butthole is now getting hosed off by an adult male. And he's saying, I don't even know you, go away, mister. And it's like funny pedophilia. Are you okay? That's Billy Madison's friend. And then we have this guy, this girl, who's dressed like a tranny, with a little redheaded kid, starts flirting, and tranny, flirting with, that was really sweet, and these two are falling in love, supposedly. It's like, right? Oh, she's commending him on the thing she did when she helped Ernie out by, rubbing his penis. That was so cute. So he takes her to his trailer, and there's all this porn stuff, and she just thinks it's cute. It's creepy. She thinks it's cute. That's also Jewish. Oh, Slurpee. Oh, 7-Eleven. Shit. Ooh. 7-Eleven. High Holdings. Japanese. Seven. Oh, God. Is it privately owned? The hell is this? Oh, I don't know what this is. I can't see a swamp from here. Pedophile swamp. 7-Eleven. Okay. So the third grade teacher that he's falling in love with, or whatever that is supposed to be the romance, he graduated from third grade and he hates the teacher and he wants to kick the fourth grade teacher in the head because that's what fucking gay Nazis do. And he gets all, you never leave me open because I'm going to hit it every time. What is he going to hit every time? Except the little boy's anus. Let me show you. So, and then this guy's poking this pencil in and out of that hole. Pedophile, gay stuff. He is making out with a picture and squeezing boobs and French kissing a picture. You want to play soccer with us after school? with a bunch of dumb. Well, you don't want to play with a bunch of dumb elementary because he's graduated now. He's going to high school. When he went up to the upper grades, these kids are still 9-year-olds. This is third grade, 9 and 10-year-olds, and he keeps coming back to them even when he goes up to higher grades. I'll come visit you guys. Fucking creepo. Yeah, to see your girlfriend. Oh, ooh, your girlfriend. Ooh. This lady came out and gave him sloppy joes. She's a smoker. You can tell she starts to laugh, and she's just got a part because she's doing something with the pedophilia, just like the grandma lady on the Kelly Clarkson Show. They had this girl on, and her grandma is just like this lady. These old smokers, they come in and they kind of act like the pimps or whatever for the pedophile, I think. For the pedophilia. For the tobacco. They get their money from tobacco, so it's all kind of related. Another party. So this is a party for high school. He's graduating into high school, and there's still all these little girls in their bathing suits running around. So now Mr. Redhead, who's supposed to take up the company and wants to stop Billy Madison from taking over the company, starts to blackmail the gay principal guy. Finds out he was a wrestler and he killed somebody by sitting on their head, and he never has a teaching credential. So here we go. Here's pedophile. Principal of a school without a teaching credential. Oh, I can't do it without the kids. Look at this. No, you can't do that to me. Those kids are my whole life. I'm a pedophile and a gay guy who's horny all the time. I don't have my teaching credential, but that's okay. You can't blackmail me like this. Just because I set up, you don't want to have anything. So he comes out on the TV. Madison hotels are mine now. So he's in high school and he starts singing a song coming out of the boombox called Stroke Me, Stroke Me, Stroke Me to a bunch of girls. Redheaded high school girls. And they all find it really funny that he's singing Stroke Me, Stroke Me, Stroke Me because he's a really funny pedophile. But this girl thinks he's a creep. She says, you're a loser. And he starts saying, well, no, I don't want to make out with you. I don't want to make out with you. Did you hear this? This girl wants to make out with me in class. Here's a grown man talking to a high school student like this. And everybody thinks supposed to think this is funny. These actors are supposed to think this is funny. And I'm sure they don't, even acting or not. I'm sure that So here's the older O'Doul picking on him. Redheaded kid. They all have a ponytail like this, by the way. All the O'Doul brothers with the red hair have a ponytail. Gay. It's not even like a man bun or anything. It's a real girl ponytail. So you're getting all the pedophiles getting their erections again over redheaded boys. Gay and pedophile. Gay and pedophile. Wait till they start with the wedgies. This one even looks like a girl. This redheaded kid. Wait till they start with the wedgies, because he says he's been picked on. Yeah, you ought to cut your underwear before you get to school so it rips easier. Yeah, let's talk about penises and underwear now with a grown man. Hell yeah, pedophile. Oh, it's just a little first day hazing. That's all. Come show me your penis. It's just hazing. It's just hazing. Yeah, like when the lacrosse team stuck a parking cone up my ass. Yeah, that was hazing too. Yeah, let's do some more gay stuff. It's fucking... I can't understand how you just can't not see it, people. The future is just gonna get worse. You know, Grok can cover this shit over. And you're not gonna be able to cover it over. The tobacco shit in the music, you're not gonna cover it over. The pedophile shit in these movies, you're not gonna be able to cover it over. Go get that NBCUniversal piece of shit and stop. Keep Kelly Clarkson's little redheaded girl the fuck away from these pedophile pieces of shit. You know? Keep her away. He's already tried to kill, what is that one guy? Weiss? That gay asshole? And then this redheaded other guy who's there. And I've been saying this a long time. Whatever. You guys do whatever you want. Kelly doesn't have any power over this shit. These are close. That Weiss guy. Oh, no, Weiss Eubanks. He's a part of the family. He doesn't have to be, he's going to have to be fired from somebody up higher. It's called a not a nepo hire, but yeah, nepotism hire. You need to get rid of that shit. Okay, before he does something worse. So, hi Billy keeps coming back to the third graders. We forgot fourth period, so I'll come down and say hi to everybody. Show me your penis. This is the girl who has a crush on me. Oh, you gotta see my penis. So the gay guys aren't into this girl, but they know they team up with the pedophiles who are. That's where they get their money. So they can put in the gay shit that they want, as long as they put in the little girl shit. Okay, because that's big money. That's the pedophile shit. That's the Budweiser. He says, how's high school? Stay here as long as you can. For the love of God, cherish being a little kid, because the way I cherish you, little redheaded boy. I did some things I thought were funny at the time. So now he's calling up because he realizes that being bullied, he bullied kids in high school himself. So he's calling a kid that he bullied. I'm sorry, maybe we could do something or have coffee. I'm sorry I bullied you in high school. And this guy, he doesn't have red hair naturally, but they colored it. It's almost a weird, they tried to color his black hair to be red, and it turned out to be a funny color. But they tried to make him into a redhead, and it didn't turn out right. Yeah, I like that. And then he crosses his name off of the people he wants to kill. And then he puts lipstick on. So, you tell me, when we're talking about all the trans people or the shooters. They're not the actual shooters, but they plan the shootings. Well, maybe they are the actual shooters as well. Very violent. They kill people, everybody. They're kind of born to do that, and they have the hatred on top of that. They have more testosterone than anybody else, and then they have the motive on top of that, which is this weird psychological shit we need to deal with. They're not safe. Oh. So now he's got the kids who were talking about underwear. They're not the 9-year-olds, but 12, 13-year-olds now. All right. He's got him on the couch with his pedophile friends. With a Coke. So we've got Coke, Coca-Cola, Budweiser. We're going to go over that. So this guy was blackmailed, and the blackmailing. And he says the only reason Billy Madison passed was because I got a bribe from him for $5,000. He lied, and Billy just gave up and started drinking instead, and decided he doesn't want the company. And he came over to her house drunk. He says, we're going on a date. And he's acting stupid. And he's sounding like a little baby when he's saying this. We're going to be putting shit on people's doorsteps. And she thought it was cute, you know. So here she comes. We've got Budweisers everywhere. Ruffles, Budweisers, Fritos, and Doritos. So Ruffles, Doritos, and Fritos are all Pepsi. And we have Pepsi, Coke, and Budweiser. And Wonder Bread, which I saw, which is tanking. I don't know what that was. So we're going to look up, and let's just go through here. More kids, more pedophilia, and now this guy becomes the hero. That all the kids say, we're going to help you, Billy Madison. We're here to help. So they go see the principal on their own, and he says, well, normally I don't allow children to be in my home without parental supervision. What the fuck are you fucking pieces of shit? Okay. But here we are, wow. Oh boy, a lot of kids. Ooh, come in and see my penis. I'm gay and horny. Sure is great to have all your kids come surprise me like this at my home. But said stuff, so they convince him. And then Billy goes and sees this redheaded guy, kisses him and slaps him. Gay. And then this guy's rubbing the rear end of some guy. The redheaded guy was like, I don't know why he's rubbing his butt. And then this guy, so Billy earlier was trying to study for this big competition that he was going to have going up against this guy. They decided that the company would now go to whoever wins this academic competition between redheaded guy and Billy Madison. So he slaps some competitions on, and while he's studying, he studied with the teacher, and the teacher says, if you get it right, she starts to undress. And now he does it for him. He starts to undress for him. So the bus driver is gay, and so here's the competition, and this guy's talking about if you cheat. However, if there's any attempt by either contestant to cheat, especially with my wife, who is a dirty, dirty tramp, whatever, got to get that in there. So while they're competing, he pushes them over, he loses a race and pushes them over a bench with his, and he's, oh my gosh, did you see that guy's balls? Oh yeah, gross. They were weird looking. Redheaded kids, or redhead this one. And, alright, talking about his balls. So this is the old Dual family. Redheaded father, 4 redheaded kids. And they all four picked on Billy Madison. And then the station wagon runs over a banana in the road and slips and falls and goes over a cliff, so they all die. Wow, how funny. I mean, I don't... The O'Douls, so it's something against the Irish here. Love-hate relationship. Gay men have a love-hate relationship. Or it could be the religion swamp going against the... whatever. I'm not even going to think about the swamps anymore. My wife, the tramp. So the competition comes to an end, and they're almost tied, and they have to do this thing up on the stage. But this guy got a question on business ethics, and he couldn't answer it, so he pulled out a gun and he started to aim at kids. So we have a school shooting with a redheaded guy who was wiping the butt of somebody else, so he might be gay, who knows. Enjoyed kissing Billy Madison. That question was not fair. I demand a new question. So he points the gun at Billy, I ought to blow you away. Points the gun, and he points the gun at her, but then the gay principal saves the day in his little outfit, and he got up, and just before he was able to shoot the girl, this guy comes in, it's in a sequence. So this guy comes in, knocks him down, but he gets up again and points the gun at her, and then somebody shoots him in the butt. Another person comes in to save the day, and it's the gay guy with a rifle at a school. Wow, this has nothing to do with NBCUniversal, the NBCUniversal pedophile, gay Nazi pedophile shooting up, I mean, I'm not laughing, shooting up Uvalde. So let's find this guy. Let's find whoever greenlit this whole movie. He's still there at NBC Universal. He's behind the Uvalde shooting. He's behind everything. We need to get rid of this culture. We need to get rid of him and the whole culture. Man, I'm glad I called that guy. So of course he's hugging her. Oh, we're great. And then he starts, whatever, sexualizing and sticking his hands on her ass, and I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a teacher. Good for you, you pedophile piece of shit. You don't have to say anything. I'm so proud of you. I'm still horny, Jesus. Yeah, okay. That's so funny. So then they have everybody kissing everybody standing next to him. This guy kisses this woman, whoever that was. Oh, it was the old lady, the older smoker lady. Okay, and then the clown who fell earlier, a little redheaded girl, and then these two teenagers kissing the redheaded mom. And so this guy, Billy Madison's friend, goes to kiss this girl, and this was supposed to be funny, and she goes, no, ooh. And then that guy kisses the black woman, and then this guy gets a hand job from the penguin. and then those guys kiss and that's the end. Then the stroke plays. Oh, that was the picture I sent. Okay, so we're going to go through the PepsiCo. Before I said it was a religion swamp stock because it was starting to go down, and then the October 2023 war in Israel saved it from going down. So I thought that was religion swamp, the Jewish half of the religion swamp. But it turns out since then, I think at the time the religion swamp was unified, but since then it's broken up. And now Pepsi has become, I believe, perhaps, well, I don't know. Pepsi could still be the Jewish half of the religion swamp instead of the Christian half of the religion swamp. No, it's the Christian half of the religion swamp because PepsiCo is Fritos, Ruffles, and Doritos. Those are all PepsiCo, and they were all in the movie. Those three things. Okay, so then I never mentioned Coca-Cola, but it's pretty similar to Pepsi now that I look at it. Pepsi is doing fine like this. Pepsi looks like a legitimate company actually, but it is definitely swampy, and I think it's oh, what the hell? What do we have here? Maybe that's gonna be, yeah, Pepsi looks like it's gonna do okay. It looks like it maybe purged. It bounced off of a support line right here just recently. What the hell is that? So it looked like it was saved by the religion swamp, but then we got rid of the pedophiles maybe. It's a pedophile stock. In May, bounced. So maybe this little thing right here with Wonder Bread, boink, and this looks like Wonder Bread though, doesn't it? Except Wonder Bread didn't have the saving by the religion swamp. But maybe this was pretty swampy, and now we've gotten rid of the pedophiles there at Pepsi. I might be behind my times, and this just started, but it looks like it was also going down here in September, October 2023, and the religion swamp saved it, and now it's starting to head down. But Coca-Cola is on as one of the constituents of the Dow, so that's going to be different. I think Trump's on top of all this stuff, guys. But Coca-Cola is probably going to come down to this line, and it looks like it might be hopefully purged. I don't think it's as bad as PepsiCo. It's not quite as swampy, but there is a little bit of religion swamp in there. So that's Pepsi, and so PepsiCo, my guy, hey people, PepsiCo is not just the Jewish half of the religion swamp, it's pedophile shit, which is very related to the Jewish shit. The circumcised guys and is something to do with the pedophilia people. Okay? If you circumcise and it's cultural and it's steeped in their culture for centuries, you're going to get pedophilia out of that, is my conclusion. Stop circumcising. Now, the non-Jewish people who are circumcised, it probably leads to some kind of sexual deviation, maybe not pedophilia, but when you combine the Jewish thing where it's the mother who does it to the son, mostly, it's the mother who drives the circumcision, the fathers don't want it, it does a thing and it makes them become pedophiles. It's just a weird sex thing. And it's Jewish and it's pedophilia, and this is the Jewish half, whatever. So PepsiCo, Doritos, was there Cheetos there maybe? Cheez-Its. Maybe Cheetos is different. Maybe Cheez-Its. Cheetos. Maybe Cheez-Its, Kellanova and Kellogg is the Christian half of and maybe the PepsiCo is the Jewish half of the religion swamp. It's looking like it here, people. Pepsi is the Jewish half of the religion swamp, people. Because they're in this fucking pedophile movie here. AT&T as well. Well, whatever. I don't know, guys. So we're going to look at Anheuser-Busch and see what the hell's going on. Now, what swamp is Anheuser-Busch? Well, guess what? This looks like the tobacco swamp. Here's the tobacco swamp. Boop, boop, boop. Marlboro Obama. And then here, in comes Trump. So we have beginning of 2027. And boom. You have what I call controlled implosion. Where controlled implosion. That's all going to Congress. This is Congress coming in. Anyway, it's a tobacco swamp. This is Budweiser's tobacco swamp, but it's pedophilia. Budweiser is pedophile, tobacco swamp sponsored pedophilia shit going on there. Look at that. Go up, and then in 2017, right here, you get Trump coming in. Boom, bye. Yeah, that's the Trump implosion of the tobacco swamp. So, and then you know what else? I looked at some other beer stocks. Guess what else looks like it? Tap. Molson Coors beverage. There's the beer stock. Look at this. 2017, here comes Trump. Boom. Look at this, guys. Tobacco swamp implosion. You get a little bit of religion. You get a little bit of pharmaceutical swamp saving them here. 2020. But do we have that with the Budweiser? Yeah. Yeah, the pharmaceutical swamp saved them a little bit right here. 2020, boom. Pharmaceutical swamp comes in a little bit. Not to go up like Pfizer. But now I looked at other beers. Give me the top beer. Give me the beer stocks with the largest market caps. So we have this thing. Chinese company. The Budweiser. Heineken, and Molson down here. But there were some others too, deeper. There were anyway, there were two of them listed before. Anheuser, Heineken. Anyway, let's look at this one. The Chinese one. Chinese beer company. Well, what does that look like? That is, you can recognize it. It's not down, but in 2020 it hits a little bit of a low and then takes off. That looks like pharmaceutical. Pfizer. Down in 2020, and then boop, and then down again. So 2020 you get the fake pandemic Holocaust money. Billions and billions, almost $1 trillion going into the fake pandemic Holocaust pharmaceutical swamp. And then in November, late 2021, boom, down. So let's look at this. Chinese beer company, SH, Kwachao Motai. Okay, 2020, up, and then implosion. November 2021, right here. Well, okay, boom. It actually imploded before then. January. Anyway, it looks kind of pharmaceutical-y to me. There's another one. It's another Chinese beer company. It looks pharmaceutical-y. Look at this. Up. Boom. And then an implosion in 2021. Especially right here. This part. Pharmaceutical. Not 100%. And then there's Pfizer. And then, oh, that one. And then there was one from, those are two Chinese ones. And then there's one from England. Diageo. Look at this. It looks almost exactly like Pfizer. Up, boom, 2020, up, down. Pharmaceutical swamp. Isn't that interesting? Beer companies from England and China look like pharmaceutical swamp. Pedophile, well, maybe not pedophile. But the American ones that look like tobacco swamp is Anheuser-Busch and Molson Coors Okay? The other ones were... So this one I don't get. Constellation Brands. I couldn't figure out what this was, guys. It looks like a combination of Tobacco Swamp here, imploding and 20... imploding here, and then Pharmaceutical up, and then it stayed up, though. And only down in 2024. So this one looks like a combination of tobacco, pharmaceutical, and probably the other right here. I don't know. I don't get this one. And Heineken I don't get either. They look like a comment. This one I don't get at all. That's the max. And then the reason I'm thinking, when you look at these, like, you have to look at the stock implied volatility, like Bud. And it's very volatile until just this month. Meaning, when you look at what's called the implied volatility, you're looking at the options trading going on. And that's where I think Congress, I think the Congress people who are being supported by the pedophiles are getting their money from stock manipulations of the beer companies, Bud and Molson, because they're highly volatile. And when a company is highly volatile, especially like when you look at Molson and Bud, they came to here, and then since their implosion, they got saved a little bit by pharmaceutical, but since then it's just been straight across for 4 years, and that's up and down, and every day is very volatile too. When you look at these guys, look at this. That it changes in one day, 1.2%. Look at this one, over 2 days, 2.58%. This is like they're making money when it goes up or down. As long as it's volatile, you can make money in options. So go after this. This is for my crowdsourcing rules. Trump might already know this, but boss man, just check out the beer stocks for Congress manipulating, and it's specifically related to the child molesters and the child pedophiles and the pornography, and the guy at NBCUniversal who green lighted and supported and casted and all that stuff, all the producers there, maybe that one guy by that culture for Billy Madison, and anybody supporting Adam Sandler, and who did Happy Gilmore 2, which is again NBC Universal. That's the same guy. He's still there. That's the guy. You guys need to get rid of him. You need to get rid of Mr. Happy Gilmore. And Happy Gilmore 2 had Travis Kelce in it, acting all gay and shit. Fucking pedophile shit, man. NFL. Budweiser and NFL related. And Tobacco Swamp. What did I say? They're Tobacco Swamp. NFL related Tobacco Swamp shit. Yeah, look at this. NFL. Tobacco, NFL, NBC, Peacock. Didn't the NFL, who gave millions of dollars to Taylor Swift? Peacock for an NFL game. Something like that. Peacock did. Yeah, that's all intertwined. So, man, this is getting creepy. Travis Kelce. That's a whole bunch of pedophilia shit's gonna come out against Taylor Swift. Oh, I hope not, guys. Oh, she needs to get away from that guy. Whatever. Anyway, look for stock implied volatility, but super volatile, meaning the options are all over the place. Then it's probably Congress is using it to launder money from wherever it's coming from for global warming BS. 231. Okay, that's it, guys. And then it's just stock stuff. Go get them. Seriously. And